Yeah.
Talking about the scores we ain't set. He said winner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, F. Fam over gram, that's a message. We be stacking bread up like it's cheddar. Talking about the scores we ain't set. We said winner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, F. Dreams over schemes, that's a
Gets me happy every time. Gets me happy every time I hear that music, man. It kind of surprises me. It surprises me, and I start bobbing my head a little bit on this Friday morning. All right, so let's jump in. Let's grab a score and knock it around. Yep. So first off, you just got back from DC at the advocacy kind of event. I'm curious, and I want to then lead into another topic because I'm wondering, you're quickly becoming the guy in this industry that is testing, playing around, and then utilizing and executing various technology platforms, but really leaning into AI, like really leaning into not only basic AI, but maybe starting to play with some agentic as well. First off, how was DC? Second, are people asking you this now? Like when you go to these events, are you that guy?
Yeah, DC was fun, man. One, I feel like there's never anything on our side of the coast, right? On the East Coast.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Always in Canada, we're always in Texas. So that was cool. We were able to drag 4 of our originators with us. We jumped in the Cybertruck. We got an Airbnb. We were being goons, driving around in scooters and stuff. That was super fun.
You didn't take your Tesla down?
We took the Tesla. Yeah, we took the Cybertruck.
So yeah, and for those that don't know, explain to everybody like what that truck looks like.
Yeah, I've got a fully branded American flag Lender for Life Cybertruck. It does not blend in. It stands out anywhere we go. It's got the gorilla on the back saying, "I want you to get a mortgage." It's pretty fun. It's definitely done its job. I've gotten 7 mortgages from it since October. Who's counting? So the mortgage payment, back to the mortgage payment.
So for those that throw shade on the wrap, you're like, hey, I just got 7 mortgage out of it. You've paid for that wrap times what, 20 at this point, if not more.
Totally. So, and it's really hard to throw shade on it because it's pretty badass. But it was cool. You know, and I think, you know, shout out to First Home IQ because they really, really like set it all up, right? I mean, it was like so well done. There was never like a time where you were confused as to like where to go, right? So like Dave, Kristen, they really, really like, it was like, all right, guys, we're going to do this the night before. Here's a full-blown agenda, because you and I both know, and a lot of the groups that we go through on different, you know, events stuff, they've got it down, but they were really cool, down to literally the second with the MBA too, right? Like, hey, this is where you're going to meet. This is who you're meeting with first, right? I think we just got an article dropped on Housing Wire. I think there were 44 congressional offices that were essentially involved where people got to go to, which is so awesome too. From a content experience to just actually having your voice heard and sharing, you know, and I'm not someone who's quiet, sharing some of the stuff that we have. And AI was one of them, right? We're talking about like over regulation of it, or if that's even something that is going to potentially be, obviously, you know, will the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act potentially be amended, right? Where it's like safeguard pretext financial privacy. Is that going to potentially be changed, obviously, you know, with AI? But and then we had the opportunity to stay one extra day. Dave and the team did a Modern Mortgage Summit, which was super dope, right? There was about 13, 14 of us that spoke. Mine was actually not about specifically AI. It was about branding. I could not come on this episode and not rep my 828 shirt for
They were
Hickory.
both rolling. You got the 828, I got the Hickory FC, my man.
I normally only wear Got Mortgages t-shirts, but I had to rep this one with your games coming up soon. That's in like 2-3 weeks, right? The season
national champs Hickory FC get started again. That's right.
But it was cool, man. And listen, I think AI is obviously here. It's not going anywhere. We all know that. All that crap. You know, if you're not going to use it, you're going to get replaced. Dude, if you're not going to use it, you're losing money. It's the reality of it. And it's pretty badass to also teach. You know, I've run multiple branches. I've got seasoned loan officers, and then I've got newbies. The newbies, it's always easier to get them to use this stuff because they're probably they don't know any better.
Right.
The seasoned guys, it's always the hard part, right? And I am the person that is going to keep ingrading stuff and keeping pushing until you do, man. And it's been awesome because we've created like custom GPTs for each one, right? I kind of screwed up and fell into vibe coding when the week before that we took the kids to Rhode Island, to Newport. We love going out there. It's awesome. We check out all the mansions and all that stuff. We had a 5.5 hour drive. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? Connected to the Starlink in the Cybertruck, and ended up vibe coding 7 websites, recreating a bunch of different efficiency tools, building out a bunch of different just custom platforms that each loan officer now has access to, from an LOS perspective, literally, where it's got their Trello boards, they're tracking their deals post-contract, current contract, tasks, what's happening with rates. There's an MBS Highway plugin that we connected with Zapier. So it's pretty badass to now have an originator say, oh, I don't want to go to ChatGPT and then captions and then this and then that. And that's kind of where we're kind of leaning on, is like having everything interfaced in one platform, right? And then leveraging, right, the topic we're going to talk about, that data, right? Like actually doing something with it, right? Not like, all right, so I'm going to get this. I'm going to get ChatGPT to send me updates real quick every morning. Good stuff, dude, right? Now you don't have to go out of your way to search. What are you doing with the data? Is your team now prompted to create those cheesy little newsletters that my team posts on my website every single morning? Mm-hmm. Is your team prompted to get a screenshot of Mortgage News Daily that says the 30-year conventional mortgage that they can make a cool little design for and actually implement that stuff? What are you doing with this data that is actually bringing you actionable results? And are you seeing a return? Because we certainly are.
So okay, you made me think of something when you were talking about the DC event. It really relates to AI, tech, and efficiencies overall. One of the things that really stood out to you about this event, and that First Home IQ was very supportive with, was that you didn't really have to give a lot of thought. Everybody told you where to go. This is what we're doing at this time. This is what we're doing at this time. This is who we're going to meet with. This is what we're going to talk about. It was already laid out and set up for you. I think that's what, I don't think, but well, I do think that that's what the originator generally wants, right? That there is this cadence, and that's the efficiency for them. And that efficiency will then help them do one of two things: either do more volume, make more money, or maybe spend more time not doing more volume, right? Maybe there's something relative to the integration with their work and their life. The challenge that I find personally and professionally, so myself, when I'm trying to build something that will help me with, maybe it's tracking my retirement or my finances or my personal spending or budgeting. Maybe it's building out, significant shared itineraries for some events that I'm getting involved in, is that I still have to now go figure out how to do that work to get to the point where the efficiency is actually in place. What you just described with DC was the efficiency was already in place. It was basically handed to you. How do you just get out of the gate if you're a loan officer that has been using AI beyond searching, but maybe slight prompting, and now wants to go deeper so that it's automated and that it pushes you towards a true call to action? Abdel, here's the thing I know about you, and it's what I love about you, and it's also what's really frustrating about you. And I think I can say that because I'm your boy and we can say whatever to each other. Totally. It's that most people are not going to do what you're doing. They're just not. They're not going to be in the sauna freaking for 20 minutes actually working, building out a chat bot or whatever. They don't own a Cybertruck that they can then connect to Starlink. And even if they did, they're going to freaking listen to Mobb Deep on the way to DC. They're not going to vibe code something. So I shout out to my New York guy, right? New York, New Jersey guy. I had to throw out the Mobb Deep quote. Sure. So how do you just take that LO and just get, what are the one or two simple things that they could do that then helps them build something or use something that's already built, integrate data, and then have a call to action? Make it small.
First thing is understanding what you do day in, day out. So your calendar. So first thing I want you to do, we just did this with our Elevate Alliance Mastermind, is connect whatever AI platform that you're using with your calendar directly. Right.
Okay. Full stop. I love that start. The first thing is, how do you know what you want to be if you don't know who you currently are. Start with that. I love that.
Yeah, so we just did that with our Elevator Alliance mastermind I run, because I always move at 200 miles per hour. Everybody's driving like 40. So I asked for honest feedback after Q1, and they were like, honestly, you're giving us great advice. And we have no idea what the fuck we're doing. So I was like, okay, so we're going to start from bare basics. So I'll reiterate what I literally just taught them was everybody pull up your chat. Everybody has one. Do you have a paid version? There were like 3 people in our room. There was about 30 of us that didn't have it. I'm like, okay, we are not going to move until you 3 pay for it. And the way I explain it for those of us who are watching is it's like hiring an employee, telling them what to do, and then they come in the next day and you have to repeat what you just told them to do. Think of that the exact same way of having an unpaid version of an AI platform.
And when you tell them to go pay, are you saying pay for the first level, which is basically $20 a month? Are you saying go get, Claude Code for $200 a month where you actually have your own little MCP server?
$20.
Okay, great. First, just start small.
Yeah.
Got it.
$20. Honestly, I'd lie to you if I told you I know what I pay because my tech stack's pretty extensive. But I'm almost positive it's $20 for that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah, connect your calendar, guys. That's the first thing you do because now you're going to know what I'm doing. Am I doing too much or am I doing too little? And if I'm doing too much, is it bringing me the necessary results that I want? Right? Am I doing enough content? I'm noticing that I'm not time blocking 2 times for content. And then you can actually, now that it's connected, you can ask chat or Claude or whatever it is, hey, can you grade me based on a successful mortgage loan originator's day-to-day mimicking John Doe, Mary Smith in your local market? It's going to probably know that they're posting this many times. They're closing this much business based on public data. It's going to correlate some data that Model Match is pulling based on their closing, based on their volume, based on their geographical preferences. And it's going to give you some recommendations. Hey, dude, I think you should post 2 blogs a day. I think you should do this. I think you should. That's your starting point, guys. Every single time I jump on a pod, everyone's like, this is so overwhelming. And what's the first thing that you do? And I give the honest answer every single time is, well, what are you doing? And it has never gotten easier. I wish I got introduced to this 8 years ago when I started in my business because it was just straight trial and error. This kind of gives you a little bit of a cheat code where you don't really have to kind of go through that error part of it. You could just skip some of that error part based on what AI is tracking, right? OpenAI or whatever it is, and tell you, hey, a successful loan officer, we recommend that they do A, B, C. They wake up at 5, they go to the gym, they time block that. And then if you really want to get into it, you say, okay, now give me allow me the opportunity to download this onto what's called an ICS, which is like through Google Calendar. I think that's the, .jpeg, whatever. I think it's ICS. Allow me the opportunity to download this where I can import it into my calendar. If you're starting from a blank canvas, and it will literally do it. I just did it for my biz dev manager who's backstage. So I know he's probably laughing at this. I'm looking at his full screen so I can't see it. But I just did that. I'm hiring you. This is what I want a successful business development manager to do. What should they do? Give me this in the calendar downloadable format, ICS. It gave it to me. I downloaded it. Now, he's not religious to it because I've got him in 17 different things, but I know for a fact that if he is not doing a specific task that we have assigned to him or helping my team, he's going to revert back to that calendar. If you're an originator, that's the first recommendation I have for you.
So this is gold. And honestly, good job, because it's one of the first times I've heard you condense it in a
I've been trying, man.
I know. And I've been talking to you about that. We've been talking about this a lot lately, which is you not everybody's going to be you, man. So you got to condense it, and people could still see a 20-30% lift in their business with a 20 to 30% reduction in their time. I mean, that's an amazing lift. So let's go back through that again. Number 1, understand who you are. So I would add to that, truly audit your own business. And I know we talk about data. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Model Match. It's very easy for you to pull yourself up inside of Model Match, compare yourself to the market, but actually take a visual, take a look and see what are you actually doing right now. You could take that, by the way, within Model Match, we're building out an AI tool where you won't have to take it outside of the app. You could literally ask it, compare me to successful originators that are with similar types of companies in similar market. And what could I be doing better? And you'll be able to do that inside of Model Match. So understand you first, do an audit. Number 2, you said connect. Okay, connect that chat bot. But let me stop you there. What am I connecting it to?
So you're connecting your calendar with ChatGPT or
Yep.
Claude.
Yep.
Guys, it's so easy. I literally just taught this. Go to your corner right, hit settings. And by the way, I have like photographical memory. So go to the corner right, hit settings. It's going to open up. It's going to hit apps. You're going to hit apps. You're going to hit connect. And then you're going to search Google Calendar. It's going to come up, or Outlook. I believe Google and Outlook are the only ones that it integrates. You can, because of course, one of our realtors who was in my mastermind doesn't use either. She uses Apple. So she's like, I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, well, you know, the glory of AI is going to freaking tell you how to do it. Well, let's do it. So we asked it. And then I know I use Zapier a lot, the middleman call it, right? So I said, can Zapier help this? And it literally responded, it is essentially the only way it's going to do it. Perfect. So what do I do? Hey, real estate agent, here's my calendar. We're going to meet next week and I'm going to teach you how to do this stuff, right? So putting it to the side, right?
So connect to the calendar. But this also assumes that somebody's doing a decent job of already using their calendar. So part of it may be, and by the way, I know what you're going to say. I think I know what you're going to say. Once you get to the next step, you've connected to the app, and then you're going to ask your agent to grade you in comparison to, and by the way, I would say not just the top LOs, but the top LOs that are similar to you, meaning your geography, what your referral base looks like, what type of company you're with. You know, if you're with a credit union versus a broker, that's going to be a very different comparison. Doesn't mean you can't keep going down that rabbit hole, but maybe start simple and just stay where you are. But one of the things that your AI might tell you is that, hey, first off, you're not utilizing your calendar appropriately. And it might tell you, hey, you know, this is what other loan officers you're doing to manage their calendar. And then the last piece is then download those best practices into your calendar, where your agent is now basically going to help you time block to go do the things that are necessary to improve your business, improve your efficiencies. That may be spending more time on social media with specific types of outreach, doing some more work on LinkedIn, maybe spending more time. Are you going to your closings? Are you attending certain events? I think, we can damn near just stop there. We need to clip this up. We need to break that down, what you just said, which I know I know Trevor, our guy, will definitely do that. And for those that listen, you just got a masterclass and didn't have to pay $1. And there's people charging you real money to give you worse information, information that you can't action, which Abdel just gave us.
And I'll give you guys one more thing, because, you know, I'd be remiss if I don't, is create a project in chat. So go to your chat, corner left, new project, call it calendar. Okay. Let it open up. And then I want you guys to type this. Give me a daily reminder mine comes in at 3:59 a.m. I don't expect you guys to wake up that early. At 6:59 a.m. with what I have going on for the day. Okay. So that's your reminder that you know what's happening during the day. And then give me a recap of the events that I had at 5:01 p.m. Okay. And then a third recommendation is on Friday, give me a recap of my entire week at 5:01 p.m. of how I conducted my business this week and compare it to how it was last week. Cool.
I love it.
There's no room for, you know, because, Carrick, you tell me this. A lot of us usually track our stuff based on closings. Right. It's usually the way, or if you really even get fun into it, then it comes to credit, then it comes to clients, and it comes to that. But closings is hard, right? Like us on the East Coast, my Q1 is always quiet. We still crush it, but it's always quieter than now. It's just a shit show for the next 3 quarters because it's the spring and summer. But I can control my events. I can control my meetings. And when I say events, guys, you also have to train it on what categorizes an events, right? Most of us here, I'm sure, are either, family men and women and whatever the case may be. Mine also tells me personally, because it's like a coach for me, is assess on Friday, how well did I do balancing out my life and my business, right? So now it tells me, hey, you work too much. So I damn well know that my wife probably won't say anything, but she knows that I work too much. I got to tweak that a little bit. And I'll tell you one thing, man, if there's anything that I'm grateful for about having that integration, is it will tell me, because, for us, we're like, well, I don't know, we're not working that hard. I'm doing this. And it will tell me, hey, you had 350 events literally in March, which is calls, consultations, meetings. And then it will simultaneously say 70% of it was work. That's a problem, right? There's no balance. Anybody who says it, you're full of shit. But I want to try my best to bring it down from 80-20 to like 65-35. I'm okay with, because I'm making strides, because you're never going to go from 50-50 in my opinion. But guys, that's a huge recommendation. Create that project, and then it's called setting a task. Set that task, it will do it like clockwork, and you'll have that much more ability to see how it's implemented in your business.
I love it. When we post it, when we start posting this episode or these clips, let's make sure because we've got, what I've written down is 5 bullets. That's it. It's just 5 bullets. Know who you are, connect your AI to your calendar, grade yourself, and ask advice. What do I do so that I can be one of the best? Download to your calendar so that it will time block for you, tell you where to spend your time, and then create a project for both reminders and how am I doing? And the last part of that is your business is going to get better. You're going to find more time, and your personal relationships may actually improve as well. All right. This was great, dude. Nice one. This is a hell of a score you just settled.
Boom.